Hallo, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Khush Amdeed. Ji ayanu. Goedemorgen.
Sparta, Pacher Agele, Ni Hao, Tune Shumbe, Washmale, Ohio, Gonzaimes, Guten Morgen, Hola, Bonjour, Privet, Kaifahal, Hale Shumachatore, Ahlan Wasalen, Marhaba, Buna, Mucho, Gracias, Swabia, Balli Karaya. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into PTV World. You're definitely watching World this morning, alongside the very fantastic, the very amazing Ms. Shiza Hashmi, and I happen to be Shahzad Ehsan Khan. Hello, Shiza. How are you, and how was your Eid?
Well, thank you so much for asking. I'm doing great, and let me just say that I want to reciprocate where you called me amazing. Well, you are too.
Oh, thank you very much for
I
that.
think it's a teamwork, and we take this forward together. Well, Eid was great, alhamdulillah. I think it's still going on for a lot of people. Some people cannot just have 1 day or 2 days of Eid. I mean, 3 we have been given by the religion, but some even take it to 5 for that matter. So I guess I'm still in the festivities. What about you? How was yours?
Well, I think mine was great too. Obviously, a lot of dinners. As we have mentioned, we have been over here in the studios.
Yeah,
Even
on
on the
and
first day and on the second day as well, from 11 to 1. But for me, it was very different. So on the first day, it was really hard for me to get my hands onto a butcher.
Oh.
But finally, I got my hands onto a butcher, and then we kind of slaughtered our goats. But then the cow was still out there pending. And then towards the end of the second day, which was just yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, I was able to kind of get done with that, and then making sure that everybody's going to get the right amount of beef, to take
I don't
place.
think you made sure, Shazad.
No, I did.
Well,
We
because
did.
no one knocked my door.
So what we do is that because it's a collaborative sort of kurbani with the cow as well, because it has 7 different portions to it
Yeah.
as well. So obviously 7 members. So me, my chachu, my father, everybody's
Well, that
involved
makes
in
sense.
it, and then everybody kinds of take out time to and be there. So we have this the old one, or the balance machine, tarazu, where we used to call it. You would actually see it, right in front of the Supreme Court as well, where
Yes.
the law is blind.
Justice
but
is
yeah,
served.
That's what it is. So we always make sure, and we always even make sure whether there's something sticking to the weighing stones as well or not. So yeah, I mean, we tried our level best. Everybody was satisfied.
That's
so
nice.
I believe that everybody was happy, but towards the end of the day, that okay, at least we got done with it. But the only thing which was worrisome was that obviously, since it was so hot outside, we had to do it inside the room, and then the air conditioner was on, and with all of that,
You had to do Qurbani inside
yeah,
the room?
no, not kurbani, but we obviously took the
Okay.
took
Got
the
it.
beef inside, and then the room was so smelly, and I was like, dude, I cannot sit in this room any longer for more than 5 minutes. But I had to, unfortunately. But after like 10 or 15 minutes, I was so acclimatized
Hey, no,
that
you
I
get
was like,
used to
okay,
it.
whatever it is, bring me a cup of tea. Yeah, so we kind of had a cup of tea together as well. But
Oh,
any
wow.
barbecue party, anything, I'm sorry, because we haven't had any barbecue party at my place. So I was sorry I was not
Oh,
able to kind
it's-
of request you to come over and
Shazad,
join
it's all
us.
lies. No, I'm just kidding. Well, here's the thing, a lot of people actually do have something with the stench, I want to say, that is associated with the Qurbani meat. And they would actually have meat all year long, but if they've seen the animal being slaughtered in front of their eyes, I don't think they can. It's probably a psychological thing. Also, because of the spirit of Qurbani, it's a Muslim thing to draw, I mean, to build sort of a relationship with your animal so that you feel sad when you lose it. I think that is one of the factors as well. A lot of people don't like to actually
I mean,
eat meat at the moment, right at the moment.
I mean, this is how I feel about it. I mean, as soon as I'm about to have that liver of the goat as well, earlier on the first day, which obviously kind of got delayed because the butcher came in late as well. So while the moment I'm about to eat that liver, the first thing which is going to come up to my mind is my goat. And I was like,
Oh.
the goat was just here. And
You took out its liver?
and now the liver, which is in such smaller pieces, I at times feel bad about it as
Oh.
well. That that okay, we brought in a healthy goat, and look what we have done. But yes, that's what we're
But
supposed to
yeah,
do.
but it was a sunnah, so you did that, and it's, well, your religious
But
responsibility. Don't feel bad
what
about
makes
it.
that's what makes me feel bad. And there's a similar story to it, because when
Okay.
I went to Hunza, so I went to have this yak burger.
Oh,
And
yes.
so I have seen yaks myself as well while I was going towards Khunjurab Pass as well. Then I was like, yeah, I don't know whether I should eat it or not. But yeah, it was yummy, it was tasty. And Allah has made all of these, I mean, on this planet Earth, all of these are blessings to actually enjoy as well. So why not? Whatever is halal, please make sure that you enjoy it to the most.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that and well categorizing that as well. I'm going to take you back to where you said when you went to Hunza and you had, well, the burger and, of course, so many other experiences as well. There was one particular that you were talking about well, Baltistan for that matter,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
Gilgit-Baltistan
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that matter.
yeah.
Go ahead with that, and then we'll talk about the amazing people of Baltistan itself.
Exactly. So, we at times do confuse when we talk about Gilgit-Baltistan. Obviously, that's one region, but Baltistan is on the other side, and Gilgit's on the other side as well. And the best part is that over there, the literacy rate is more than 90%.
So
And
impressive,
people,
man.
people actually say that it's 100%, but I refuse to kind of agree to that because a lot of people have written a lot of wrong spellings on the walls.
Aw.
I mean, for example, if somebody wanted to write toilet, it's written toilet. If somebody
What if it is too late?
no. But if somebody wanted to write beauty parlor, they've written booty and something laller, and so
It's okay.
so that's what made me think that okay, not everybody is literate enough as well. But other than that, Shiza, they're very exceptional people. I mean, from the areas they belong, majority of the people actually go out to study. They actually step outside from Gilgit-Baltistan to kind of come to Lahore, to Karachi. And back in the days, not now, obviously with KKH in place as well. Back then, there was no infrastructure, hardly any infrastructure. So for all of those families, they actually kind of collect money, make sure that they're going to send their kids to actually study wherever they want to study, and not just even in Pakistan. They go all over the globe to study and to make sure that they're going to have a great career ahead of themselves as well. And this is something which we love. And such is an example of this amazing guy who's over here in the studios with us, ladies and gentlemen. He's had a profile of a finance minister in Baltistan, and he's with us. And obviously, that's why I said that he's had the status.
Okay.
But now moving on, ladies and gentlemen, he was one of those people from Baltistan who, for the very first time in 50 years history of IBA, kind of did something great. He's over here with us, and we want to kind of have a conversation with him, so that every individual can draw inspiration, because at times I even think that, okay, one day probably I can be a minister too. Today is the day that we are going to learn, ladies and gentlemen. We're very lucky he happens to be an SME expert as well. He is Mr. Waqar Abbas Mandook. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Thank you so much. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Good morning.
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's
here.
our pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining. And this is one thing which everybody should know, that people from Gilgit-Baltistan, they wake up very early as well, and look at the energy of this guy. Even at this time, he's got great energy. Moving on.
Okay, all right. Well, the next person we have today happens to be one of yet another amazing personalities, and I tell you why. We love to talk to or celebrate people who are bringing good name to Pakistan.
Yeah.
And doing that while being so selfless, I think that is something we really, really love. Similar stories bringing to you every other morning.
Yeah.
Well, you have something to
Yeah,
say.
I have something to say over here, and it's because of the fact that we actually went to same school, went to the same college. He was my junior.
I didn't know
and
that.
just like a lot of people didn't expected me to be on television, and alhamdulillah, Allah actually kind of gave us a path to follow. He was the same as well. Shirt ida jari or something like this, and he's like, okay, Alba, whatever it is. And his elder brother was actually senior to us as well. But I mean, ladies and gentlemen, Allah has actually got a plan for everybody out there as well.
Definitely.
And now he's a social activist. He's helping a lot of people. Even on Eid, they have made sure that they're going to help a lot of people out there. They've got a hospital set up in Golda, which is actually making sure that they're going to look after the people of the vicinity. So, ladies and gentlemen, he happens to be a social activist, and Charity Doings is the name of the organization. He is Mr. Ahmed Naveed Malik. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Assalamu alaikum, Shehzad. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you,
Guzashta Eid Mubarak.
viewers,
And this is the best thing, which I love about them, and that is that when they used to be in college, they used to refer to us as Shehzad Bhai, and all of a sudden when they are
You're Shehzad.
on the show, they refer to us as Shehzad. And I've gone through this a lot of times as well.
But isn't it a good thing?
It is a good thing, because I've seen that doing myself as well. And imagine, when I got into the industry, so if I would come across Atif first time, I'd be like, Atif bhai kaise hain aap? Shafqat bhai kaise hain aap? Or Bushra api kaisi hain aap? Or apa? But then eventually you realize, okay, now alhamdulillah, since I've grown up, and when you're working professionally, you really do not have to refer to anybody like that. Obviously, you need to show them respect.
Of course.
But you kind of do not want to be under the shadow of somebody's umbrella. So that's one thing. So you're not under the shadow, but it's good to have you over here, and I feel happy. I feel ecstatic about the fact that there are such amazing Barians out there who are doing wonderful work.
Thank you so much, Shehzad, for such a nice introduction of mine. I'm truly touched and humbled. So about me, there's an organization running with the name of Charity Doings, and we have been running this organization for the last 6 years. In the year 2014, we started it off, and in this Eid also, Specifically for the essence of the Eid, we have been sacrificing the goats and other animals, particularly in the parts of Sindh, where there is an extreme poverty, so that the people can benefit the meat as well, because they do not have even a one-time dish to have on. So that's about
Well,
it.
that is something, of course, amazing, and we do want to dig deeper into it as well. Now that I think we have started talking about it, let's just take it forward already. We have mentioned this on the show before. There are documentaries of people living within interior Sindh, or probably even far more downtrodden segments of the society there, who have never smelled meat to eat, Shahzad. And it's probably so easy for us to say because, again, I don't like saying this, but we are the privileged people. And their entire lives, they're even now being showed videos by the government to how to feed on moringa leaves, how to make 80 dishes out of them just because they need to fulfill their protein quotient, but they don't have access to meat. So I guess you guys are doing an amazing job. Congratulations on
and
that.
Shizan, not just that, smelling meat is far way different from, imagine that you're drinking water from where your camels actually drink
Oh dear,
water.
I can't even
They
imagine.
do not even have access to clean drinking water, and these are the areas of interior Sindh, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how it is. So we really need to talk about it, and thank you very much that Charity Doing has done such a wonderful job, and that everybody kind of get to eat or have protein over there. But Waqar bhai, coming back to you, you've got such an amazing profile, and that too at such a young age. Did you knew always that, okay, that this is something I wanted to do? Because with students over here in Pakistan or as kids, we certainly have no idea about what's going to happen to our life in the next 5 or 10 years, and we certainly do not have any direction, rather than our parents kind of constantly telling us, beta ko bada kaam karo.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
So, Shahzad, thank you. I think it's more of a, when you go through the, hardships, I think, it's a global now economy, so we watch a lot of TVs and all. So we see a better life around us, in Pakistan. When we come from Gilgit-Baltistan, so we feel that there is a good life out there. So when we see, movies, documentaries, so when I came from Baltistan to study up here, so it was like, it was very tough, obviously, because of the weak basic education and all. So at that point in time, I felt that whatever I have been gone through, I thought ki my next generation or our young people should not go through the same, hardships. So we start a lot of, coaching session, mentoring session, and, talking, helping young people and all. So it go with the flow, no? So you talk to people, people get successful, and then you go to young leader conferences in across Gilgit-Baltistan. You talk to people. So it's go with the flow. People acknowledge your efforts. So you with the passage of time, you become vocal, you become more social, and then with the passage of time, everyone recognize you. So then going into IBA, getting a good degree, coming back, giving back to community. So that's how it so with the passage of time, it comes. So
And does it naturally always lead you to bureaucracy?
No, not necessarily. So it's like, there is no trend of young people coming into the system of government.
Yeah.
So, and then there is no motivation of young people to come into government.
But it's primarily because of the fact that there are no openings for anybody else. As of now, if we want people to be in the government sector, we really need to have jobs for them as well. No?
So it's I think it's more of an inspiration part.
Okay.
So we don't have inspirations. So nowadays, young people don't need jobs, right? They find their way out as long as they find the right inspiration.
Yeah, that's
So I think we have to break the barrier. So somehow I came into the system, like somehow my name has been nominated. I came into the system. I do some amazing job, and I swear to God, a lot of young people now they are involved into politics. They are coming into politics.
But this is what I want to ask. That how do you somehow get recommended to be a finance minister? This is where the crux is. This is where the secret is. This is where I want you to open the Pandora box. That somehow needs to happen to everybody then, no? If
Was
it's
it in-
somehow,
was it in
because
a-
obviously there's a lot of hard work which you might have done. There's a lot of people you might have touched or reached or made sure that that they kind of thought to themselves that okay, if it has to be anybody, it will be Mr. Mandok.
Yes. So it's I think one of the part is like obviously IBA. You know, you can't ignore the fact.
And not
because-
everybody kind of gets to, graduate from IB and be the minister as well.
Sir,
Please,
so
come on. I mean, one of the part needs to be achhe naseeb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
So
hard work, yes.
one part is that, and then another part is I'm very social. So
Okay.
I speak to a lot of people, bureaucrats, you know, and then we do a lot of social work. And I have social media page, so I have 10,000 followers on social media. So it's more of a, so people somehow connect the dots, right? So then I come on the media, I write too much on the social media. So it's more, there are a lot of factors it's packaged in. It's not one part, right?
Definitely, and that makes sense, of course. I mean, Shahzad, I think when you're looking at a person who's actually putting his entire effort, hard work, and sincerity into something, or bringing a good name to your region, specifically in your case, I think people do recognize that. One quick question: was it an electoral process?
No. So
Okay.
it's a interim setup.
All right.
So yeah. So it's between the last government and the new government when
All
it's
right.
forming. So they bring people who are acceptable to everyone and who have good intellectual base, especially in
That's how you
finance.
refer to somehow. I believe so.
Refer
But we're
to
going to
what?
come back to this as well. I actually want to talk about, because there's this one amazing difference which I've seen in, I have not seen in Sindh, I've not seen it in KPK, I've not seen it in Federal even, or Punjab even for that matter, or Balochistan. But in Gilgit-Baltistan, people are very self-aware. You know, they won't let you litter, they won't let you do anything bad. People won't cheat over there. Any market, any store you're going to go to, they'll always be very nice to you. They'll kind of hold your kids meanwhile you're having food. And, the environment is 100% changed from the rest of Pakistan. But coming on to you, Ahmed, so you've obviously achieved quite a lot in a very shorter span of time. You're helping a lot of people. Please let us know about other projects which
sure.
Charity Doing is into.
Thank you, Siddharth. So about the charity doings work, particularly in this essence of Eid, first we have sacrificed the goats so that the people there who are living in extreme poverty, they can have the goat meat, and also we have sacrificed the cows there. And there are two very important projects which I would like to highlight as I've got the opportunity here to come on the PTV, which is one is called the water projects. Because in the particular Shahzad, you see in particular area of Sindh, like this Jamshoro and
spoke about
Dadu,
it,
so these areas are highly deprived of water, and these are completely desert areas. And I will say very little to no attention is given by the government and even from the public also. This is not to blame any government parties, but it is how it is. Because
But
these are
let's
far
blame Sindh government
exactly
for
because
that.
these are the far off areas.
Because
Not
why
much
not?
of attention is given to these places. So we have taken the initiative of doing various sort of water projects here. And there comes the different categories of the water, such as small hand pumps and the big hand pumps which we have installed. And then there's a solar water project as well, which requires no electricity. It runs with a complete solar sun energy, and the water tank gets watered up whenever you switch it on through a solar energy. So these are some of the projects which we have done in the district Dadu and the district Jamshoro, so that the people can benefit from this water resource. And Alhamdulillah, as of now, we have done around 28 to 30 water projects there, which varies from different, hand pumps and the solar water projects. So even the solar water projects have a different categories. It is one big tank. The variation comes in the water tank size. The big tank is of 6 by 10 and the small tank is of 4 by 6. So this, if I talk about the big tank, it is enough to suffice the whole village.
Oh, that's
Really?
great.
Yes.
How many gallons? How many gallons?
I will say about gallons, I'm not sure about it, but at least like 1,400 to 1,500 people can consume in its full tank, which is quite good.
It is amazing, mashallah.
Ji.
Well, I'm so happy for you to actually achieve this as well. But now my next question, I feel like sits for both of you, because you, mashallah, happen to be an SMEs expert as well. You do sort of, mentor people on how to do a startup as well. And then you empowering people from smaller areas. Is there something?
He actually wanted to share about other projects.
Yeah.
Of course, please, you have to add on
No,
into this as well.
Perfectly fine.
Right. So, tell me, what do you think now that you are in the position to, alhamdulillah, empower people in one way or another? What do you think that they need to have? So, Shazad always tells me that, and I agree with him, that you need to teach people how to fish rather than providing them with fish, you know. So in those terms, how do you think you guys are contributing? I think you continue
Yeah,
your
I'll-
thing and then answer my
Okay,
question.
so for this, I have to skip to some of my points
Yeah.
to coming
Please,
to this.
please do all
So
of
these are the projects which are called sustainable livelihood programs, which we are doing, and we are primarily focusing on these segments because we also want people not to ask again and again, so that we can give them some means of provision of business. For instance, back in the days, we have given people a vehicle so that they can run it in an Uber or in a Cream or a normal taxi, so that they can make their own living monthly, you see. And like other cases can be, which we have done, we have been doing, is setting up a shop for someone. We can put in a grocery item so that he can, make his own living. So these are the things which we primarily focus on. And we actually take such cases, we give more importance to such cases, because in this way, he can start make his own living. And sometimes we also take some of the percent from that case, because that percent we utilize it in other livelihood cases. You get my
Okay.
point? So economic empowerment is one of the subjects which we primarily focus on.
That charity
Yeah,
doing is on.
exactly.
Amazing.
So I was telling about the other projects.
Yes.
So for the Sindh, we have started another project which is very important to highlight here, because getting an opportunity to of coming live on the TV, we are doing. It's called Project Roshni.
Okay.
So these areas, Shahzad and Shiza, Dadu and Jamshoro, they do not have an electricity. And just imagine these days in the hot summer days, we are going through 45, 43, even in Islamabad also. So just imagine in these areas, these are desert areas. Again, just to mention,
crazy
let that sink in. I mean, it's very, very hot in these areas, and those people are living without not even a fan. Just
I know,
imagine.
yes.
So we have started running a campaign that, okay, we are going to give you one solar panel, and in that solar panel, your fan and 2 bulbs can function.
Oh,
right?
that's great.
Exactly. So at least some of, they will have at least something.
A little bit of comfort.
Little bit of a comfort, exactly. So this is the campaign which we are doing, and Alhamdulillah, as of now, we have equipped 30 mud houses there with
Wow.
this fan and the 2
Solar
bulb
panel.
thing. So it's one solar panel, and you'll be surprised to know it does not cost much. Like
much
one
does it
one
cost?
house gets sponsored in 13,000
That's
only.
it?
That's it.
Oh.
That's it.
That is amazing.
Exactly. So we have been getting the funds from the donors. Like we have single entity donors, we have the organizations working with us, because down the road of 8 years, we have made a lot of collaborations with the people and the organizations also. So they sponsor us. We have some international donors as well. So they sponsor us on the houses wise. So
Very
Alhamdulillah, as
nice,
of now, we have
mashallah.
done 30, and this just been a month, and immediately after Eid, we are planning to do 50 more. And
Many
we
more
have
to
equipped
come.
the
Yeah,
funds as
mashallah,
well.
so proud of you. Manduk Sahab, coming back to you with what Shiza has actually asked.
Yes, actually, so nowadays I'm looking after a project which is called GRASP. So GRASP is a 50 million euros project. It's funded by European Union,
Okay.
and it has so it's implementing in Pakistan by International Trade Center. That's UN agency
ITC,
for
yeah.
trading.
What does it
and,
entail?
So it's International Trade Center, and then it's subcontracted to Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund,
Okay.
and then we have FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. So we are working with SMEs in Sindh and Balochistan. So if we can take out this agriculture human resource, so the SMEs employ 80% of human resource in Pakistan.
Okay.
So we are working on sheep, goat, livestock, horticulture, dates. So there is huge potential out there. So we will be working specifically with these mango growers, banana growers, and then dates and meat. So 40% of the meat of Pakistan is produced from Balochistan. So we are working on the value chains. We are connecting them with the right markets, so that there should be less volatility in the prices. We are working on their export bottlenecks removal and all, and then we are also funding them through matching grants.
Wow.
So we will be
Brilliant.
funding them, and then we will be capacitating them in order to grow their businesses. We are bringing them into the mainstream through registration and all. So there is so we are working on policy level, and then we are working with the local government, and then we are working with directly with SMEs and MSMEs.
Okay, that's wonderful. But since we are talking about how you're working with FAO and the European project which came in, and we spoke about the amount is quite extensive. It's 50 million euros and poverty alleviation. Wonderful. what I have started to believe and what I've started to think is that okay, you know, since we are going to be investing in people and that too obviously such larger amounts, why shouldn't we invest in a direction where it's going to reap benefits for the country as well, not just for an individual? For example, you know, since you said that, you know, that there's huge benefits in terms of dates and fruits and mangoes and whatnot, but why can't we just tell them how to kind of sell them or retail online? You know, give them a platform
Yes.
that, okay, you know, this is the direction where everybody needs to
Very
sell
true.
now.
Very true.
You know, so with that, what will happen is that the industry is going to flourish, there'll be more competition, and obviously, you know, the country is going to benefit from it because every single user, even if they are from the downtrodden segment, will eventually be using internet. So will, you know, they will have more avenues
Yes.
to open up. Are we thinking about it?
Definitely. So one of the major component of this whole project is to access to the market.
Okay.
So it will be either your digital access, it will be direct access. So it will be opening up the market and removing the bottlenecks. So we are working on it. So since there is a lot of smuggling to the other part of so Iran from Balochistan, and then it's very much common.
Yeah, yeah.
But we have to now bring large scale investments in Balochistan so that the value addition must be there, so that the farmers and the local grassroots level farmers could get
So the
benefit.
supply and the value chain needs to be
Yes,
there.
yes.
Wonderful.
Well, this was something I wanted to ask, and since you spoke it, I'm going to say these were your words and I'm taking them forward as well. Let's talk about the areas where you said, of course, because of the neighboring countries and everything, let's just face it, there is a chance we do have porous borders over there. So in that case, when we talk about improving exports and, improving relations with the neighboring countries and whatnot, where do you think the management might be lacking, if you have an idea how to manage that?
So look, so the infrastructure is lacking. Honestly, there is no, the proper policies and implementation, and then
How will infrastructure do something with lootable resources and
excellent,
borders?
yes. So the point is that when farmers or the traders or the businessmen don't get the right amount of
They sell
money,
it somewhere else?
yeah,
Okay.
and then they have a lot of issues regarding taxes, regarding other issues. So they don't feel to sell it into the markets where they see a lot of issues, right?
Got it, got it.
So when we will have a right kind of infrastructure, let's say public-private partnership or local we should incentivize these local businesses so that they can put factory out there. There's not even a single processing large facility in Balochistan. That's they're sitting on a gold mine.
Just mines, yeah.
I mean,
going
I mean, that's true.
but
and
that's
I-
a great answer. of
And I
course.
partially agree to it as well, but there were difficulties as well, and thanks to Pakistan Army that they kind of went in there as well, and now
Yes.
people can actually freely travel in Balochistan as well. So
Yes.
we have come out of a turmoil. There was a time when
Definitely.
Pakistan for the longest period was in a turmoil as well. Thankful, alhamdulillah,
Yes.
that we kind of were able to get out as well. But sir, I'm very sorry, and I do not want to take this debate any further as well, because you said that a lot of businessmen, vendors, a lot of people have these tax issues, and which is why they actually kind of decide to sell it to somebody else. Now imagine if they're going to pay tax, only then the infrastructure is going to be in place. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
that-
No. So
Yeah.
what I mean is no, it's not only about tax, right?
Obviously.
Yeah. So they
It's about
it should
facilitation.
be a right investment climate.
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
investment climate is very important. Tax they have to, because they are sitting in Pakistan. They have to pay
And I-
tax. That's why I'm saying mainstreaming them.
Yeah.
Bringing them into mainstream.
And this is something
and
which I'm going to
incentivize
kind
them.
of request to
Definitely.
everybody
I
out there
agree.
as well, that if you have a business, you earn good money out of it, it is probably your duty, it's your civil duty to kind of pay your taxes, ladies and gentlemen. Only the government will be able to help you as well. But coming down to you, Ahmed, because we're very short on time now, so I want you to kind of take a pledge, make a pledge to everybody who's out there, how we can be a participant of your cause and how we can donate and what are the names of
Yeah,
the
sure,
pages so
sure.
that we can reach
But
out
before
to you.
that, there's just one
Sure.
point where I would like to add.
I like you.
Yeah, just to take the statement of Sir forward. So I believe if we talk about this social activity, social activist and philanthropist works, there's a gap from the government side as well, which I feel that it should be fulfilled. If you
Yes.
talk about the PPE, public partner partnerships,
Yeah.
so I believe you see, Shehzad and Shiza, the charity work cannot be done alone. A single entity and organization cannot do it all by
True.
itself. Okay, at a certain time, your resources are going to go all off. right?
Yeah.
So you really need to have the collaboration of the organization. There should be a system should be devised by the government also, so that a person, if there's a case of, let's say, a cancer case, right? So the cancer case, for me, I do not take up the cancer cases, because you see cancer cases are very costly as well.
Yeah.
If you talk about the leukemia and this therapies and all that. So if the organization get to have a detail of other organizations working and their objective, their core mandate, so you will be in a better position of directing that particular case to that particular XYZ organization.
Yes,
So this thing which
absolutely.
I believe government should also take part in it, and there should be some private-public partnership with the government as well.
Exactly. Wow. And since you spoke about leukemia as well, and a lot of people out there know that I actually suffer from leukemia as well. So the government is actually doing quite a lot. Yes, Punjab government has partnered with Novartis, and they kind of give away a lot of medication for all of those people who are actually suffering from it as well. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually going to say goodbye to Mr. Mandok as well and Mr. Ahmed as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to take you towards a small report. It is all about the festivity of Eid and different kind of cuisines people are having these days as well. Probably you can get a good idea. But once you guys will come back, we'll actually try to change the conversation and bring in somebody who can play some good music and sing some good qawwali. It's still Eid, right?
Let's do that.
Let's do
Good
that.
morning.
Whether you agree or not, Eid al-Adha is all about food. It marks the beginning of barbecue sessions and overeating. Eid is a celebration like no other, and we know how important food is when we're celebrating. After the prayers of Eid, everyone tries to get to their animal for sacrifice. It is generally agreed that if a person can afford Qurbani, they should perform it. When the meat gets ready and distributed, the taste part begins. Delicious meat dishes are cooked, and tempting smell attracts the people to food tables. Eid is also an occasion to get together, where people meet their families and loved ones. Together, they share their memories, laughter, and this gives a perfect opportunity to have barbecue set up and enjoy the gossips. Another quality thing about this holiday is the unlimited cuisines that one gets to witness. Muslims everywhere celebrate it by preparing dishes conforming to their own culture. Hence, the beauty of Eid dishes that exist around the world is untouchable. There is no way to celebrate this occasion without having roast lamb. It is a delicacy that is famous all over the Middle East, but also within Pakistan. This is because Pakistani barbecue usually consists of lamb meat. Preparing this is not difficulty because it only requires the necessary seasonings that can differ within cultures.
मुझे लगता है ये बुड्ढों को खराब करते हैं.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on your television screens for the very first time, we have the Akhil brothers, ladies and gentlemen. तेरे आने के बाद, तेरे सोचने के बाद, I think that's तुझे देखने के बाद is the title of the song. And for the very first time, you've actually seen it on your television screens. They're debuting today on our show World this morning. We're lucky to have them with us, ladies and gentlemen. We have Mr. Salman Akhil Saab, we have Mr. Husnain Akhil Saab, and we have Shahzad Rafiq Saab as well. And to give you guys a brief introduction, ladies and gentlemen, they actually opened their eyes in a very musical family where their grandfather actually used to be a harmonium player, and then their father, Akhil Manzoor Saab, was actually a legendary performer as well. And now finally, on to the third generation, we have these two amazing brothers who are doing a wonderful job so far with Qawwali and different genres of Qawwali as well, where we can include Khayal and Sufi and so on and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about time that we're going to be in conversation with them. Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome.
Walaikum assalam, and thank you so much for inviting us. in your
Sir, thank
It's
you
our
very much
pleasure,
for joining us as
definitely.
well. You know, it's our pleasure that you gave us the opportunity to play your first ever Sufi track on PTV World as well.
It's also a great pleasure for us that you're inviting us on the stage of PTV, and we are also so thankful to the management team of Pakistan Television that they invited us.
Well, of course, we love providing a platform to talent, and we have seen your talent, of course, there's no question in that. So, Mr. Salman, if you can sort of paint us a picture of growing up in a musical family, did you have an option to do something other than music? Were you always invested in music?
Yes, actually some of my friends suggested me that you can choose the second option that is more easier.
What is that?
So that type is singing is you can say the pop music and the
Okay.
fusion too. But actually we are working on our father's legacy, and we are struggling with classical music and ghazal singing and classical singing too.
Okay.
Wow, that's wonderful. Which is why, this is something which I wanted to ask, and that is that, for all of those young singers and musicians, whenever we have them in the studios, the kind of title of their track will be Tujhe Dekhne Ke Baad, Tere Aane Ke Baad, Tere Jaane Ke
Teri
Baad.
yaad aayi.
Something like that. So why did you pick up on this ghazal in the first place?
First of all, I want to say that this composition is our father's composition. He composed the melodious ghazal, and actually this is a Sufi song. So we discussed with each other that we need to make a song like this with good lyrics, with good composition, and with good music. So we tried to compose this music with also new instruments, the latest
Yeah, I can see
musical
the banjo in it
instruments.
as well,
Yes,
yeah.
actually. So we tried.
So it's wonderful. So it's actually a fusion of ghazal with the latest musical instruments as well,
Yes.
which is why we're going to request you, since you do not have a banjo right now, or we have harmoniums and tabla over here in the studio, so we're going to request you to please sing whatever you feel like, for our audiences in 46 different countries, please.
Thank you so much. We want to sing our father's composition
Okay.
with the lyrics of Husn hai saath tera.
वाह, देखा फिर से नौजवान लड़के हुस्न है साथ दे रहा. Is he ready?
Sani dani re sa pa ma ma pa ga re dani re ga re da sa हुस्न है साथ तेरा, हुस्न है साथ तेरा, रंग उजालों जैसा, तेरे चेहरे पे सवेरा है, कोई किरणों सा हुस्न है साथ तेरा, रंग उजालों जैसा, तेरे चेहरे पे सवेरा, कोई किरणों जैसा हुस्न है साथ तेरा।
एक जादू 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 तेरी आँख में जादू, एक सरापा तेरा तनावों जैसा हुस्न है साथ तेरा, रंग उजालों जैसा, तेरे चेहरे सवेरा, कोई किरणों जैसा हुस्न है साथ तेरा, रंग उजालों जैसा,
गुफ्तगू है कि है दरिया की रवानी कोई, गुफ्तगू है गुफ्तगू है कि दरिया की रवानी कोई, है बहारों सा लबों पर कोई नगमों जैसा हुस्न है साथ तेरा,
रंग उजालों जैसा, तेरे चेहरे पे सवेरा, कोई किरणों जैसा हुस्न है साथ तेरा, रंग जानो
Wow, kya baat hai. Wonderful, ladies and gentlemen, and I think that the Akil brothers have done a great job over here.
Definitely.
And to be born in a family where everybody's a musician, and then to have such amazing vocals, and that too, both the brothers are blessed with such amazing vocals, is something which is extraordinary.
And not
Thank
to
you so
mention, Shahzad Sahib, your performance was great as well, mashallah. Amazing.
I like the way you smile, you know. Zindagi se badi muskurahat hai, mashallah. Kya baat, sir, since we are very short on time, so we want to listen to another ghazal, another qawwali as
Yes,
well.
sure,
But very quickly, before we actually leave out a message for everybody who's out there, I want you to kind of share what can your audiences expect from you in days to come? Because, you know, you've released your first single. People are going to love it, inshallah. Our prayers are with you as well. But what can they expect from? Are you going to experiment in other genres as well?
Yes, exactly. Actually, we are working on different kinds of ghazal, and we are remaking the ghazal singing actually.
Can we have one of those ghazals which are already in the process of remaking?
Sure.
Sure, okay, well, that's wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you keep an eye out for the Akil brothers as well. We were lucky to have been joined by Mr. Salman Akil, Mr. Hasnan Akil, and Mr. Shahzad Rafiq over here in the studios. It's about time that we say or bid farewell to everybody who's out there. Please make sure that you enjoy your weekend. Shahzad, anything you want to say?
Yes, Jummah Mubarak, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you have an amazing weekend like already Shahzad did mention. And well, we'll see you on Monday, inshallah, next. Till then, if you have any feedback or questions or suggestions for the next shows, you know where to write us: Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, all with the name of.
Well, this morning in the Fabulous Repeat is going to be at 5 past midnight. Till the next time, look after yourselves. And this is the Akil brothers trying to make changes into a qawwali and a ghazal. Let's see.
Gabada sada bagare gabada bagare gare sa दश्त में प्यास बुझाते हुए मर जाते हैं दश्त में प्यास बुझाते हुए मर जाते हैं हम परिंदे हम परिंदे हम परिंदे कहीं जाते हुए मर जाते हैं दश्त में प्यास बुझाते हुए मर जाते उनके भी कत्ल का इल्जाम हमारे सर है उनके भी कत्ल का इल्जाम हमारे सर है जो हमें जहर पिलाते हुए मर जाते हैं दश्त में प्यास बुझाते हुए मर जाते हैं दस्तूर